Hello everyone, this is David recording for ChessLessons.com, and this is a live tournament. This game took place about 6 minutes ago. We're in the round 1 of this tournament, and let's take a look at what happened. We have YAYAO93 versus Nguyen Dalhouse, 1149. Game opened with e4, e5, bishop c4. I personally don't like bishop c4. I like knight f3 better because knights before bishops. Knight f6, attacking the e4 pawn. Knight c3, defending the e4 pawn. I like that move. Bishop b4, not a bad move, giving you a chance to castle quickly. No problems with that so far. Queen f3. So I find this to be somewhat of a strange move. It doesn't take into consideration the fact that white needs to castle as quickly as possible, and it kind of tries to build an attack prematurely. It's good to mention that after bishop b4, knight to d5 is an option, and after takes and takes, white's doing okay here because this bishop is kind of staring at nothingness. So black took the knight, pawn took back, and a good move over here would have been bishop to g5. Dual purpose. One, you might want to castle long, and two, what you're threatening to do with that move is basically, let's say you castle, which is what happened in the game, bishop g5, you're threatening to take, and take, giving him double pawns. So it'd be like, let's see, bishop g5. Let's say he played a move like h6 or d6, defending this, takes, and takes. Because you no longer have your dark square bishop in this case. So because you don't have the dark square bishop that could potentially come back here and defend this knight, it creates a chance for the white side to double your pawns. So your opponent didn't go for that. He went for this tricky move, which threatens 1, checkmate, 2, to take the rook. You lashed out in the center and attacked him, and he went for it, and you missed a critical move over here, which is knight to h5. And what this does is dual purpose. One, it attacks the queen. It prevents the queen from going and checkmating you. And two, you have a triple attack now. You're attacking the queen, you're attacking the bishop once your king moves out of the way, and you're attacking this bishop. So I think this was a key move and a critical moment in the game. And let's see. He spent 2 seconds to make that move, and you spent maybe 10 seconds. So you have 9 minutes. There's no need to rush. Yes, taking this leads to checkmate, and maybe you got a little bit nervous. But the key move here was knight to h5, and if he responds with something like, let's say, queen takes, which is a double attack on the knight as well as the pawn, you don't have to really worry about this so much. What you can do is basically just take here, and he can't take here because the knight is holding the mating square, and if he takes here, you just take this bishop. And now you're up a piece, and you should be winning the game. So let's see what happened in the game. You played g6. So now he has an attack to exchange the rooks, but you're still attacking his bishop, so he might need to solve that. He takes the pawn. You guys exchange pieces, and you play rook e1. So this is still anyone's game, I would say. I would say there's some imbalances, but both sides have winning chances. Knight to f3, preparing to castle, and he drops this pawn over here. I would say generally it's good that you took this pawn, but also keep in mind, like, you still have a lot of pieces that haven't entered the game. So maybe what you want to do is, instead of going and just grabbing pawns, like, finish up your development. So this was good. Castles. e4, attacking this knight. I'm not sure if you're going to drive him to a better square or not. He moves his knight. You bring your bishop into the game. And let's just do a quick piece count. He has 4 pawns plus 3 pawns, 7. You have 7 pawns. You have 2 minor pieces. He has 2 minor pieces. So yeah, this is, I would say, anyone's game. Rook over. So this is pretty dangerous. His rook is staring at your queen. You kind of want to move that out as fast as possible out of the way. You go on taking pawns here, but you have to consider the fact that your king is vulnerable. You don't have a dark square bishop opposing his dark square bishop. And maybe a bigger priority than just grabbing these pawns is defending. Like maybe a move like queen to h5, trying to drive away this bishop that's in your territory. So you play that, and then he plays queen to e5, threatening a checkmate in one move. Anytime your opponent makes a move, you want to ask yourself, why did my opponent make that move? So it seems like his move is dual purpose. One, he wants to play checkmate. But two, if you play a move like f6, he has a chance to maybe just take it. Yeah, maybe he'll just take f6 and then reinvigorate his threat for checkmate on the g7 square. So that goes back to my comment of you're not fully developed and you're under attack. So maybe what you want to do is keep your pieces closer to the king to prevent any checkmate attacks. And you play knight to d7, ignoring the fact that your opponent has a mate in one. He takes advantage of that and he checkmates you. So always ask, what's the purpose of my opponent's last move? The purpose of his last move was to checkmate you. And any time where you trade off your dark square bishop, so that was another comment I had earlier on, that you traded this dark square bishop. Keep in mind, bishops are better than knights. If you have 2 bishops, they're worth 7. If you have 1 bishop, the second bishop's only worth 3, and this is a general rule. Secondly, 2 knights are only worth 6 points. So once you trade that dark square bishop, this square will be weak for the rest of the game. So maybe what you want to do in the future is maybe play bishop e7 instead of jumping to b4. And whatever move he makes, this is hanging now, so you have to defend it. You can just castle, and then you always have the option later on of going back with the bishop and defending this dark square. So I hope you got something out of this lesson. Mistakes were made on both sides, I would say. You missed the critical move of knight h5, attacking the queen and defending your g7 square at the same time, while continuing your attack on the bishop, which would have led to you winning material and potentially having a very strong attack in this game. And just keep that in mind for your future games. And I hope you enjoyed this and look forward to analyzing more of your games, and good luck for the rest of the tournament.